You would be surprised how many hidden things reveal themselves in the dark. I like to take long walks at night and think of scary and interesting stories. There's a story just down the road I'd like to tell you about. Walk with me.
Easy bake, fast as you can. Mix 'em up, pour 'em in the pan. Slide 'em in, let 'em bake now. Slide 'em in, slide 'em out, easy bake, wow! Only Kenner's Easy Bake Oven Set makes such delicious cakes, cookies, candy, brownies, pizza, pies, and biscuits. It bakes like magic with 2 ordinary light bulbs and has a special cooling chamber. Easy Bake by Kenner.
Edith loved to cook. Ever since she was a little girl and got her first Easy Bake Oven for Christmas, she was hooked on the culinary arts. It's one of the qualities that helped Henry fall in love with her. They married young, but never had children, only dogs. Every evening, Edith would prepare and serve a new dish for Henry while he sat on his recliner and watched his favorite news channel. His eyes stayed mostly glued to the TV, spouting small commentary here and there and praising the meal during commercial breaks.
Good job, babe.
They used to take evening walks together years ago, before Henry had his hip replaced. It became hard for him to move much after that, but she still hoped for those days to return again. Some nights, after Henry was fast asleep, Edith liked to sneak out of bed and take walks alone. She would play her favorite music or motivational podcasts as she roamed the dark and quiet suburban neighborhood. As others slept in their warm beds, Edith walked and dreamed. One night, she passed an empty home under construction. She hadn't seen it there before. It looked as if something was moving inside in the shadows. Perhaps it was a homeless person or squatter, she thought. She whispered a faint,
"Hello?"
The outline of a figure soon appeared there in the darkness, its eyes glowing like a nocturnal animal. It stood completely still, just staring at her. Afraid, Edith quickly walked away, praying it wouldn't follow. The next night walk, she reluctantly passed the construction again. This time, the figure was already waiting there. There was something curious and almost sad about the creature as it stood there in the cold black bones of the structure. She thought she could even hear a slight whimper. She announced a
"Hello?"
once more. It soon whispered back just one word. The next evening, while Edith cooked dinner, she couldn't stop thinking about what the creature had said. What did it mean to tell her? Was it hungry? That night, she cooked a little extra dinner and stored it in a small Tupperware container. She hid it in the back of the fridge where Henry couldn't find it. On her walk that night, she placed the Tupperware container on the dirt in front of the property. She hoped the creature would step into the light and reveal itself. Instead, the container slowly began to move on its own, dragging towards the opening by some invisible force. It eventually disappeared into the belly of the house. She could hear the distinct sounds of chomping, slurping, and swallowing. The vacant container soon chucked back out of the dark and onto the dirt, followed by another whisper. Every night from then on, she always cooked a little extra food. The Tupperware containers became increasingly larger. She took every type of dish imaginable to the creature, but every night it was the same response. There had to be something wrong with her cooking, she thought. Perhaps her new friend needed something more hearty, something more fresh. Henry was sad when one of the dogs went missing. He cried in his recliner for hours.
He must have gotten out of that hole in the fence last night.
Edith shouted from the kitchen as she pounded and tenderized some red meat.
Shouldn't have fix that damn thing,
said Henry. They both speculated on wild coyotes or a drunk driver leaving their local bar as likely suspects to their pet's demise. Edith continued to cook and cook. Every time, the container's larger and larger, but the creature remained unsatisfied. Its whispers turned to aching cries. One evening during dinner, while Henry was watching his news, Edith watched Henry. She stared at him while he chewed his food and then looked down to his lifeless legs resting up on the lazy boy extension. Who am I kidding, she thought. Any hopes of taking walks with Henry again are long gone. Does he even really need those legs anymore? Sometime later, she got up from her chair and walked over to the kitchen cupboard to look for their meat carver. After Henry went missing, the town started to suspect foul play, but the police never found a body. Some of the neighbors told the police they sometimes saw Edith sleepwalking. She would walk around the streets at night holding a large empty container. One neighbor even tried to snap her out of it multiple times, but she only repeated one word. It wasn't long after that when the house burned down with Edith inside. Police and fire department determined it started in the kitchen. Rumors about body parts and dead animals being left cooking in the oven spread around town, but no one actually discovered the truth of what really happened there. Some people even say they can still see Edith, late at night, walking around the neighborhood, clenching her Tupperware, sometimes standing in front of where her house once was. I did hear that there was a new property being built there now, under construction. Still.
Easy bake, fast as you can. Mix 'em up, pour 'em in the pan. Slide 'em in, let 'em bake now. Slide 'em in, slide 'em out. Easy bake, wow!